Hello, my dudes. Welcome back to Previously Gifted. You already know I'm excited for the episode. I keep having to film these before work, which is stressful because, I have to shower fast and get ready. But we're here for it. It's Monday. It's May, bitch. It's not Monday also. It's Tuesday. I don't know what day it is, but it doesn't matter because it's just time for a new episode, so strap the frick in. If you're listening to this in a vehicle, please use your seatbelts. Otherwise, I don't know, sit on a nice couch, grab a blanket, or go on a walk. Go the fuck outside, actually, because the weather is nice and we need vitamin D. I just got back from Miami. I got back late Sunday night, had an early morning bucks shift yesterday, and now I'm back on my, usual grind. So we're excited. We're here to get this money, and we're also here to chat a little bit. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for all the comments on last week's episode on YouTube. I asked you guys to leave more comments, so please continue to do so. I love the feedback, and you guys always leave, insightful, little tings. So I appreciate it, and just keep doing it. And, I don't know about iTunes reviews, but leave a freaking review on iTunes because podcasts always say that. They're like, okay, this is really good for the podcast, so leave a review. It's like, I'm not going to get on the top 10 podcasts, probably not in the top 1,000 podcasts, but still, someday we might get there, so leave me a review. Thank you for making my dreams come true. Before we get started, I gotta give a shout out to my patrons. If you want to support the podcast in a very, very real way, you can go to patreon.com/previouslygifted. I'm thinking I want to do some kind of a live show or a private, what is it called? A YouNow kind of stream where I could just sit and chat with you guys. So if you want to join in on that, I want to do that maybe if we hit a certain number of patrons. Right now I have 16 of you lovely VIPs, and maybe if we get to 25, we'll do a special thing. So just do it. It's $1, dude. Give me $1 a month in exchange for all of my time and effort. Thank you. Before I get started though, we have new patrons. New patrons who are helping us get to this goal. Shout out to Mark Russo. Hey, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. And Emily Lane. Emily Lane is such a pretty name because it sounds like an address, but also it sounds like a fashion kind of brand. And I'm already hot and not speaking clearly, so we're off to a good start. And always, I got to give a shout out to my OGs, my sponsors. These are my permanent supporters who are just irreplaceable, We could have more of them. I'm not saying I'm against that, so if you want to become a sponsor, let me know. Sorry, I'm going on too long. Shout out to Joni K, Hannah Baker, Kirsty McCulloch, Eric Courtwright, Lily Dillon, Matt Barham, Jerome Nivens, and Liz Walsh. You guys are the realest ones. And I say it every time, but I fucking mean it. If somebody came up to me and they're like, hey, Tiffany, I just have a question. Who are the realest ones? I go, Joni K, Hannah Baker, Kirsty McCulloch. And I will give you their Instagram ats as well, No, but that's in the video version. I'm too lazy to speak it out loud. Anyway, today, I wanted to do something that is called the Jawbreaker Q&A. This was a tag created by Emma and Cybelle. Is that how you say her name? The Messy Heads, you guys. If you're not into the Messy Heads, you don't know who they are. They create a magazine and online content and just a lot of great stuff, and they're into supporting independent artists and things. It's just really great stuff. So Jawbreaker is their latest issue. And Emma recently posted this little tag, and she wanted people to just record a video and answer all these questions. And recently I was like, dude, what if I just did a MySpace survey? And then this came along. So, sometimes the universe just sends you exactly what you need and kind of steers you in the right direction rather than doing a MySpace survey. But honestly, we talk shit, but MySpace was lit. sharing those surveys was fun. It was a way to kind of like give people a little peek into you, but also like be a little bit shy and keep some of the mystery there. And it was just like very intriguing to read about, like, I don't know, the 8th graders talking about who like their most recent text was, or like who their last kiss was, and they'd go like, it starts with an M, winky face. And we had no idea, but we were trying to put those pieces together. Did she hook up with Matt? Could you let us know in the next MySpace bulletin? For those of you who are any amount younger than me, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But shout out MySpace. Today we're doing questions. First question is, who are you when no one is looking? Damn, dude, these questions are already so deep. I haven't even looked at most of them yet, so I try to, keep it fresh, keep it spontaneous. But who am I when no one is looking? I'd say it's pretty close to like who I am when people are looking. Okay, if I'm straight up like alone, I'm probably talking or singing or dancing to myself. There's always some little thing that I'm doing. My coworker Steven, he always catches me kind of dancing, and he's like, you've got a rhythm to you. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm always just kind of bopping, and like it's definitely not to any beat, but yeah, wow, that's really poetic actually. I bop to the not beat of my own non-existent drum. Who am I when no one's looking? I think I'm a decent person. This is fucking hard. Let's continue. There are a lot of questions. By the way, if you want me to post these questions, maybe I'll put them on Twitter, so that you guys can see them, because it's just like a long, big old ting. But anyway, question number 2. What does it mean to be you? God damn it, this is deep. I'm not really in like the deep mood here. I'm not in deep mood, but we'll get there. What does it mean to be you? What the fuck? Ugh, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Why did I think this was an easy podcast topic? What does it mean to be you? I guess to be Tiffany is like, okay, I'm gonna describe myself from an outside perspective. Okay, like if I were one of my coworkers, I'd be like, Tiffany's pretty interesting. She's like, she can be kind of funny. She's like quiet sometimes, and then randomly like she'll just be like really funny. I like her pink hair. I don't really know much about her. She hasn't talked about like her personal life yet. By the way, I haven't told like any of my coworkers except Tom, who trained me. Shouts out Tom, and Steven. I just told him yesterday. I hadn't told any of my coworkers that I do YouTube or that I have a podcast or like anything about my online presence at all. And I don't think any of them like follow me on Instagram or anything. So it's just really funny. I felt like it was like my Hannah Montana thing. Not as if I'm a huge deal, but just like it's so funny to not talk about like what I do outside of work. Because other people are like students and I'm working like part-time hours. So people are like, oh, what else do you do? Do you have another job or something? And I'm like, yeah, I have some work from home. I do some video stuff. But I was like, low-key, don't fucking ask me. Because then it's like a whole new thing. But anyway, what does it mean to be me? Hopefully, I'm just like a genuine, nice person who's enjoyable to be around. That's it. That's all I can ask. How might friends describe you? Friends would describe me as loyal, funny, smart, fuck, I don't know. It depends. Like my very best friends, they can call me like a beautiful soul. How would Nathan describe me? Oh man, it's always so fucking hard to like describe yourself. How would other people describe you? I'm like, I don't know. Perfect, wonderful, amazing, best friend ever, soulmate. Yeah, I don't know. I actually have a a letter of rec that one of my professors wrote for me for a time when I was applying for an internship that I didn't get. But I just read it again the other day, and like I straight up want to print it out and hang it on my wall because it's so nice. I almost want to read it to you, but that's like super egotistical. But I'm just going to read a little part of it because I love it. He's like talking about me like in terms of how I was in his film courses. But he says, Tiffany's voice and sensibility come through. Assured, sly, polished, and insightful. I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice. Assured, sly, polished, and insightful. I'm like, polished? Nobody's ever called me polished. Although Tiffany has demonstrated that she can do many different things, she's always been clear on what her main goal is and what her politics are. I'm like, bitch, so nice. She may have grown up in an age where crude outrageousness has become the norm, both in cinema and in our political life, but she wants to do work that displays the same level of wit and sophistication that she brings to everything else that she does. It's like the nicest thing fucking ever, dude. I don't think he knows, like, how much I love this letter of rec. It's so nice. I'm like, I'm gonna ask other people to write me letters of rec for things that I don't actually, like, need them for. Like, I'm not applying for anything. I just want, like, compliments, basically. But yeah, like, when I reread that, I was like, dude, that's, like, such a nice way to describe me. It's very, very flattering. Okay, next question. How does that differ from who you actually are? Wow. How would your friends describe you, and how does that differ from who you actually are? I feel like I'm a lot more serious and I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like I'm a lot more serious than a lot of people know. Or not I don't know. Like I wish I had more friends who wanted to discuss like the biggest issues that plague my mind. Like maybe I just need some like political science kind of friends, or like I need some friends who are down to like, you know, I don't know. Because of course my best friends are interested in a lot of the same like causes that I am, and of course we have those like late night sleepover, like endless chats. I don't know. It's really hard to explain your sense of self. I was actually lurking through, it might have been like Emma's Instagram or something, or maybe like a friend of hers. Yeah, it was like a friend of hers. But she was basically saying like how we shouldn't have to even explain who we are, or like the whole idea of finding yourself is such an illusion, because you will never get to the point where you like found yourself, you know? And I kind of agree with that, because like I think I'm being pretty genuine to myself and like publicly most of the time. And I feel like I like know what my true self is, but I also could never pinpoint that. I could never say like this is who I am, because it's like this is who I am today, but who I was a few years ago was also me. Who I will be in the future may be different. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't been like thinking about myself this deeply, especially when it comes to like friendships and like comparing those relationships to like how I see myself, because like I've said, like it's just been Nathan and I, which has been really interesting like socially, because you know, if I were back home, I would be at least like seeing at least like a handful of different friends. Shout out to Aria, by the way, Dizzle. Fuck. Well, I was at the airport the other day. I get a text from my friend Aria, and he says, if you do a live podcast, have me on it. I want to share some embarrassing stories of you. And then a few minutes later, I got a text from my friend Logan saying the exact same thing, and I was like, oh, Arya and Logan are together. So I like made a new group chat with them in it, and I was like, hey, you guys are formally invited to be on the podcast. And then Arya replied from Logan's phone and said, no, it's me, Arya. Logan doesn't want to be on it. My phone died. And I was like, okay. Anyway, my point is that I have friends somewhere in the world. But anyway, like, you know, I feel like people are different from when you compare like them, for example, like how they are on their own or how they are with like one person, because obviously everyone's different with different people. So basically what I'm saying is like I've only been able to express maybe 3 sides of my personality: me alone, me with Nathan, and then me with my coworkers. When, you know, if you hang out with a bigger variety of people or you're just around different groups, those are even more versions of yourself to explore, you know? That's all I'm saying. Ooh, fuck. The next question is talk about your hardships. I'm going to take a little pause so that I can breathe, and then we'll come back because that's a hard hitter. See you in a sec. And we're back. So even just in the beginning of this podcast, I'm finding it kind of difficult to talk about these things without feeling like I'm repeating myself. But that's obviously because I talk about so many of these things on the pod all the time. So you guys already know me, but we're repeating things. So this question, talk about your hardships. Like, there are almost no secrets that I have, you know, kept from you guys. Basically, I'd say my hardships would be, I mean, obviously, like, I have talked about many times, what it was like to grow up in my household and grow up in an expensive place like Orange County and having, you know, financial hardship, you know, to the point where money is a constant issue. I'm reading a book right now that Nathan bought for me at the airport. Thank you. It's called You Are a Badass at Making Money. I've read the first book, I guess. It's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Jen Sincero. I don't know. She's like a motivational speaker. She writes about things. Anyway, I think like Lexi Lombard or somebody recently recommended this book, and then when I saw it in the airport, I was like, yes, let's get it. Because I do want to get, you know, my finances straight. Anyway, but so far, a lot of this book has been about just like changing your mindset about money. And she talks about how obviously like how you grow up changes the way that you kind of are taught to think about money and the kind of relationship that you have with it, and how to like let go of these negative feelings associated with money, because like money itself isn't the problem, you know, bills may be problems or greed is a problem, but like money is a good thing and money can bring you all of the things that you need and want, you know, whatever. So I've been thinking about like how I grew up and how like money was always associated with like a feeling of like inadequacy or like never having enough, or hearing like we can't afford this or we can't afford that, you know, me always thinking like, oh, I could never have that, I can't afford that, I'm jealous of everyone who has this, this, and this, I'm jealous of people who can easily afford these things. So I'd say like that's probably like the lasting effect on me is like as an adult and being, you know, financially independent and also like getting into college debt and all of that. It's been really hard for me to not like stick to those same patterns of thinking and associate like such negativity with money, because, you know, I want to be independent. I want to live, you know, a nice quality life. I want to be able to splurge on the things that I care about, you know, be that traveling or like quality clothing or like ethical whatever, you know? I feel like I definitely used to like demonize money and kind of in with that, like people who like spent a lot and who like in my eyes were just being like gaudy about it, you know? Like I still don't like seeing people, you know, who are obsessed with material things, and who are definitely like wasteful, but also I'm trying to be less judgmental about that. Anyway, yeah, I'd say a lot of my hardships just stem from that. And really at this point, like life is great and I am happy and I am doing very well. So a lot of those like past hardships aren't affecting me, but obviously they're still like a part of me and like at the root of my personality. So anyway, you guys know. How much of you is a secret to the outside? I'd say, like, honestly, very little. There aren't really parts of me that I don't feel like I can share. Lately, I've been getting in a lot more of a private kind of phase. Obviously not like on this podcast. I'm still like sharing a lot. But, you know, there were times where I almost felt like everything in my life was like worthy of making a video about it, or I wanted to vlog. Because like as an online content creator, your life becomes the content, and you feel like you should just share as much of it as you possibly can, and that people will get invested in you, and that will just be better for your viewership and for your channel or for whatever, for your Instagram even. And like, I just, first of all, there's not much to share. I don't do very much. If I were to be vlogging right now, it would be nothing, you know? My life is very like simple right now, and there's not a lot to share, but I still like to keep a lot of it private just for my own sake, you know? So anyway, I'd say nothing's a secret, but you know, I'm not going to be so much of an open book in terms of just like oversharing just everyday like things, you know, like that's it. Do you think you know yourself right now? No. Like I've said, I tend to be honest with myself, but like I'm definitely at a point where I don't feel like my like mission and my purpose are clear. So I have to remind myself like what things I'm passionate about. So I'm trying to get to know myself again, but I'm also not in a point where I'm really expressing or like chasing all the things that I love. Like even just being in Miami and being on the beach, like that was a part of myself that I feel like I hadn't felt. Like literally just that little like beach girl vibes part of me, because like growing up near the beach, I used to go to the beach like every weekend as soon as it was sunny, or like whenever I could, I'd drive to the beach just to like sit there. I was at the beach all the time. I love the beach, and you know, love the coast, love a good PCH drive. Even just like that part of myself, like just loving to be outside and in the sun and go swimming. That's something I haven't like done much in the last few years because I haven't been like in the right locations for it. And definitely like through the winter I felt like I lost myself because I just like became this like shell that was like scared of the outside because I hate the snow and the cold that much. So that's been interesting. Next question. What are you passionate about? Good, because I was about to mention that. When I think about, okay, who am I, or whatever, what things that I'm passionate about help make up like who I am, you know, because I think your passion says a lot about who you are, or it makes up a lot of the portions of who you are. Over and over again, I am very passionate about activism. Just like there are issues that I am especially passionate about, and those things get me going, and I feel compelled to learn more about them and share information about them, especially in terms of like political issues, issues of equality, veganism, you know, like environmental protection and sustainability. The things that I read about endlessly and want to share with others, or I rant about online. Those are definitely the things that get me going. I'm also, this is another part of myself that has been untapped for a while, which feels weird, is like the comedic side of myself. I've realized recently, like I haven't been trying to be funny, or I haven't been like expressing that side of myself as much. Again, like not because I'm hiding it, but just like I haven't been in that same kind of mood. And I guess it's like, I feel like I'm at my funniest when I'm with McKenna. Like, she brings it out in me, like, she's so funny, like, we just joke together. That's when I feel the most inspired, like, creatively, because I feel like she and I, like, work really well together. Like, even going back to, like, when we first met, when we were like 12 years old. We made so many funny videos and songs and like ridiculous things together just because like it works, you know? Even if you go back and watch 100K, that was born literally overnight, recording it on her computer on GarageBand like we always used to. And then we just went out and fucking filmed it the next day. She's definitely somebody who brings out, you know, a lot of my creativity. And sometimes I think about like film projects or documentary projects that I'd still be so interested in pursuing and being a part of. But again, these are aspects of my personality that can kind of go dormant because I'm just not like, there's nothing stimulating that part of me. What else? Yeah, in terms of me like not being funny right now, like you may think that like some of the things I say or whatever in my videos or on my podcast are funny, which thank you. But like, especially when I'm watching other YouTubers, like I've been watching a lot of Emma Chamberlain, and Cody Ko. They almost have like a similar style right now. But like Emma Chamberlain is like 17, 18 years old, and she just like rocketed to YouTube fame like in the last 6 to 8 months or something. She just hit 1 million subscribers. And she's just naturally funny, but she's like very obnoxious. Like I like watching her videos and I can watch like a 20-minute video of her, but like it's all very like quick, like zoom, like loud noises, sound effects, which may not sound funny, but you should check out her videos because she's cool. But I feel like even if I were in like a silly mood and I made a video like trying to channel like some kind of like silly energy, I don't know, like literally in the past, like, because most of my videos right now are like rather informative and they're just like a lot more like casual and laid back, and I'm not trying to be like silly or zany. But I feel like when I am, like if I make a video and I'm a little bit more animated than usual, people are like, you're acting like so-and-so. I don't know if it's one specific person, but like, I, for a while would get comments that were like, you're acting like Haley Belay. And I'm like, dude, some of that happened after like the summer where I hung out with her a lot. Like she was in LA and then I went to Vancouver. Shouts out Haley. I love Haley. She does inspire me comedically, artistically. Her videos are fucking great. It seems so effortless. And I could never be like the kind of funny that she is, but like, especially after spending time with someone, like, of course your mannerisms like get mixed up and you start to act more like each other. But anyway, I feel like we had like kind of a similar personality sometimes and similar sense of humor sometimes, in the first place. But it was just funny because it's like, I'm acting like myself, but since I know Haley and you know I know Haley, whatever, now you think I'm acting like Haley. It's weird. So anyway, I don't know, because sometimes I think about my channel and I'm like, I need to be more funny. Like, that's what the people want. And then I'm like, I don't want to like force it. And I just don't feel that like silly. I don't have that kind of energy all the time. Somebody who has a really great, like, kind of more dry but like hilarious tone and just sense of humor is a chill vegan. She's very funny, and just like her what I eat in a day are just funny because her voiceover is it's just funny, and she'll make little jokes, but she's not trying like too hard. So that's what I enjoy. But again, it's not something that I can like, I wouldn't want to copy it, but like I get inspired by that. But then I'm like, if I made a video like this, I feel like it would just seem like I was copying that person, you know? That's tricky. Anyway, I forgot what the question was. But let's continue. We're not even halfway through this questionnaire, by the way, so I don't think we're going to make it to the end. We might have to speed up. How do you think about where you grew up? That's kind of a weird way to phrase that question. What do you think about where you grew up? Like I've mentioned, I grew up in South Orange County. It is a very high cost of living location. And the way I describe it to people is like, it's very safe. It's literally like some of the safest cities in America, like top 10 safest, are like right around where I lived. So it's incredibly sheltered. In a good way, though. I mean, like, you're growing up in the suburbs. You want to feel safe in your hometown and just, like, going around with your friends. It's also very, like, cookie cutter. Most of the houses are relatively new, like, built in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever. So they all, like, look the same, and they're all kind of, like, a boring color palette, but, like slightly inspired by, like, Spanish or Mexican architecture, and it's like, I don't know. I love it because it's where I'm from, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and, like, I would love to raise my own family there if I could afford it comfortably. But obviously, yeah, since my childhood and, like, the struggle of, like, trying to live there and, like, afford it, like, that's kind of, like, tainted a little bit of the memory for me. But of course, then there are so many other things that are separate from, like, my family life or any financial issues or whatever, where just it's all just memories of good times and good laughs with my pals, you know? It's a beautiful place. Talk about a moment that changed you. That's a tough one. I'm like, talk about a moment that changed you. I don't think I have very many, like, singular moments. I'm gonna have to pass on this one, I think. Or maybe the one moment I can name is the moment that I became Tiffany the Prez. I remember in elementary school, I used to, like, run for student council every year, like 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. I lost, and then in 5th grade, I finally won. I won president. And I remember getting that phone call from my teacher, and she called to say that I won. And, like, I remember, like, distinctly, like, jumping up and down, like, doing the, like, happy, oh my God! Like, I feel like those kind of moments are so rare to actually happen. So, yeah, I was jumping up and down with so much joy, and, like, that kind of was, like, a catalyst moment, because, like, me becoming president, even though it's such a small thing, president of the elementary school, that literally did start my YouTube channel, and that started kind of my confidence, feeling like a leader, or that in some way I wanted to, like, represent a community. I wanted to be able to make some creative decisions, you know, and I feel like those kind of aspects are still relevant to who I am, you know. Even if I go back to college, like, it's possible I'd still be interested in being in some kind of, like, student government or whatever, student government, or even, like, literal local government. It's just the political side of me, maybe. So I guess we can call that a moment that changed me. What is your greatest attribute? I don't know. Leave it in the comment down below, you know? What is my greatest attribute? I don't know. Just, like, love. Being able to, like, not, like, being able to, because everybody, like, most people have the ability to love. But, like, I think that's when I'm my best, is just, like, the relationships that I have with people that I care for so deeply, like, makes me the best version of myself, I would say. What is your greatest accomplishment? Again, it's hard to say. I mean, definitely in general, I would say, like, everything that I've built online is my greatest collective achievement, even though it may not be as impressive, like, just looking at it, because, you know, it's like Tiffany Ferg has 128,000 subscribers, but, like, my last few videos only got, like, 3,000 views. Before then, I'm, like, averaging, like, 8 to 10,000, which isn't small. It's definitely not insignificant, but it's not, like, major, you know? Some people see a channel with 100,000 subscribers and expect to see, like, thousands and thousands of views. But anyway, that's not relevant. What's really impressive about these accomplishments that I've made online is, like, just the commitment and the time that I've put into it, the energy that I've given my YouTube channels over the years, and the content that I've wanted to make. Because no matter how you shake it, you know, I've committed to sharing my life trying to entertain people, trying to give advice and help other people for over 10 years. And I have, stayed pretty consistent with that. So I think that collectively is my greatest accomplishment. A lot of people like, oh, I've played soccer since I was a kid. That does take a ton of energy and time and commitment. And I feel like me and my videos are just another like kind of version of that. Like anything that you put thousands and thousands of hours of effort and practice into, I think that culminates into something impressive. And you can definitely call that an achievement. What is your biggest failure? That's funny because that's kind of also how I feel about my online work sometimes. I try to see it in a more positive way. I mean, like, some days I feel great and I read nice comments and a video gets good feedback or whatever, and I'm just like, wow, I am proud of myself for this. And then some days, you put up a video and it's a flop and you feel like a fucking has-been but hasn't ever been. The has-been who never was. New merch idea. Let me know if you want it. No, really, that's kind of how I feel about my YouTube because, I've talked about this for forever. I'm like, I just want to be more successful. I've had these little bits and little bursts of success, and I guess altogether it looks impressive, but over the course of 10 years or whatever, it's like very little hills of success, and I would just want to reach like a mountain, and keep climbing that mountain. But that's what I'm still doing, and whatever. That's why you can't base your accomplishments on numbers, because you'll only peak once, and then you're set to be disappointed, eventually. Yeah, I wouldn't call this my biggest failure, but like, it definitely has documented a lot of my failures. I don't know. I don't feel like I've failed at too many things. And some people would say you failed at going to college. You fail at being financially responsible. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not done. How can you say it's a failure when I haven't finished? I haven't given up. I'm still going. I'm still on my way. All right, let's take one more break, and then we will be back. Try to go through these last questions quickly. Stay tuned. And we're back. Let's go. Lightning round. I literally need to leave for work very soon, so I'm like, why am I always late? I am definitely the kind of person that's always late to work, and I want to change that, but also here I am recording a podcast when I should be getting dressed for work. Here we go. Do you love yourself? If not, why not? Yes, I love myself. There are things about myself that I don't adore, but I don't really hate very many things about myself either. Do you believe in yourself? Yes, I do. And I'm trying to work on that even more so. I'm trying to really remind myself of my strengths and, again, my accomplishments, and just to not be so hard on myself. So, yes, I believe in myself. I'm gonna do great things. Tiffany Ferguson, she's one to look out for. She's awesome. She's a doer. What is your first thought in the morning? First thought is, trying to figure out how long I'm gonna be, half asleep laying there before I actually get up. So usually I set an alarm, and then I'll set another alarm 10 minutes later. Isn't this fascinating stuff? No, but unfortunately, my first thoughts are usually grabbing my phone, starting to look through social media. It depends on the day, but also one of my first thoughts is just love and snuggliness, because of course Nathan and I wake up together, and I think that is the most pure, sweet moments ever, and of course anybody can probably relate, but just you're the only person who knows your partner in that way, and it's just it's so cute and it's so sweet to just be able to have little morning kisses or morning snuggles and be in that half awake little feeling, and you just want to cherish spending a minute together before you both have to get up and start your day, so that's there's a lot of thoughts swirling in my head right away, but those are the first. Who are you at the core of yourself? I'm exhausted. I don't want to answer that. I just realized I'm also very hungry, and I didn't really give myself quality time to eat before work, and I'm upset about that, because if I'm hungry now, I'm going to be fucked in 5 hours. What are you trying to do with your life? Communication and media, dude. It'd be very cool if I could continue doing some sort of podcast like this, or if I could do some sort of comedy or activism or politics, political work, or documentary work, or who knows? We'll see. See you there. It could be something else altogether. What advice do you have to give? Read more. Read a book, take a book. I should take my book with me and see if I want to no, I'm not going to have time to read it. Never mind. It's maybe on the way home, but Nathan's picking me up and then we're going grocery shopping. So no, I don't have advice. Sorry. I'm going to skip over these last few questions until I find one that's interesting. But answer these for yourself, Why not? Have you found yourself? These are all way too introspective for me at this hour. Usually I'm a huge fan of introspection, but right now I'm just oh, it's exhausting. I can't do it. I can't answer this deep question quickly. Come on. What's my favorite color? What does society prevent you from being? Interesting. Everyone I meet knows something I do not. What do you know that I don't? Ooh, that's a good question. Not one that I'm going to answer right now, but what code of morals do you live by? Kind of trying to be an ethical consumer, obviously everything that goes along with veganism, being a respectful and honest and kind person, trying to limit how judgmental I can be about people who disagree with me over these beliefs and others, but and what do others assume about you because of your appearance? I don't know. I will say that having pink hair has been a very interesting experience. I mean, my hair was a little bit pink in the past, maybe this pink or lighter, which by the way, I think the salt water in Miami lightened my hair so much because the top of it, I'll take my headphones off so you can see. I forgot that I can talk into the microphone without my headphones in. It doesn't make a difference to you. But I don't know if you can tell, the top of my head is completely almost faded and there's very little pink left, but the blonde is coming back, bitch. By the way, I'm wearing this Gotta Get Through This shirt. It's Louis Theroux. He's one of the best documentarians. You should check out his documentaries. Some of them are available to watch for free online. Louis Theroux. He's British. Nathan introduced me to him, and he's really, really enjoyable. What do others assume about you because of your appearance? I thought people would look at me with my pink hair and think that I was some, I don't know, people judge people with colored hair, Thought they'd think I'm some, punky teen or something. But for the most part, I got so many compliments on it at Starbucks, especially from people that I wouldn't expect, older women or whatever. They should be wow, I really like your hair. Your hair is very cool. Which was very nice. I was you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you for going out of your way to compliment me. So that's a little reminder for today. Why don't you try to compliment someone randomly today? Be nice, be generous with positive words. I hope I can do that. I hope I have a great day at work today, and I hope you do too. That is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this is the Jawbreaker tag. You might be able to find it on @BlueMars. That's Emma's Twitter. I think that's where I found it. But maybe I'll repost it on Twitter or something so that you guys can see it. If you want to do your own MySpace survey, let me know. And again, leave a comment on YouTube, leave a review on iTunes, and become a patron so that we can do some kind of a big, spectacular live show for the pre-summer special before I go on a public hiatus. What? Before I go on a public hiatus, and I will only be posting privately to Patreon during the summer. That's the plan. Stay tuned. Love you. Okay, thanks. Bye.